Nobody, literally nobody will ask for your social security number.
If any such thing happens, the communication is going to come straight from the university or specifically from the international students office.
Do not let anybody even enter your house until and unless you really know them personally.
Hey friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. I'm Rob, and we're all about guiding people on their cross-cultural journey to be successful, especially international students. And we'll be giving you guys the most important tips that you need as you prepare to go abroad, especially for people starting this fall. Now, another really big tip that you guys don't want to miss and be aware of is the scams. There's a lot of scams that unfortunately people prey on international students. And so Archana, what are the scams that people need to be careful of?
I think one of the most common scams is if people just call and ask for your social security number, or they say your social security account is expiring or something like that, and you have to be super careful. Nobody, literally nobody will ask for your social security number. Only in certain cases they probably ask for your address only for verification, but make sure you're connected to a secure line with a verified individual. In fact, in a lot of cases, the verification is done through automated systems. So make sure that you're not sharing your critical information with anybody except in the absolute need for it. That is the most common set of scams. The other set of scams is job scams. You want to verify the source of the job, you want to verify the source of the company, because when you come to the US, you're only authorized to work on a certain set of jobs, especially given your immigration status. So you want to make sure that you are complying. Always verify with the International Students Office if you can take up a particular job. You want them to vet it out so that you're safe, so that eventually when you're applying for a job after you graduate and stuff, there's no red flags per se, with some kind of scam companies or things like that. You want to be extremely careful about that. The third set of scams that might happen is related to housing. The housing laws in Arizona are extremely strict, and you want to be very careful to comply with them. Do not let anybody even enter your house until and unless you really know them personally. Do not let people, especially you're speaking to them online and be oh, can I just stay in your place for a couple of days? You definitely don't want to do that. I learned through a really awful experience that individuals, if they live up to 72 hours in your home, they're considered a resident of the place. So you want to be really careful about the housing laws and comply with them as much as possible. And of course, if you, God forbid, you get into any trouble, make sure you're going through the proper channel to basically get out of the situation. You can maybe call 911, make sure the cops are there, put everything on record, make sure things are, you're within the legal boundaries.
Or reach out to international services.
Yes, and of course, reach out to international services.
ISA even.
And ISA even. They will definitely help you. ISA does put out alerts about the different scams that are going on at a particular time. So make sure to check out their page and keep up with it. And and if any point you find anything a little shady, immediately stop engaging with that individual or that organization. And before you only when you verify, that's when you can go ahead and engage with them.
I would specifically like to point out on a couple of things. So identity theft is a big thing in the United States. So be very mindful of, as Archana said, of whom you're sharing your critical information with. No banks, no verified organization is asked for those information directly over email or any other source. So just be very mindful of where you're putting your information on, and because everything is recorded, everything has a record in the United States the moment you enter. So do not do anything that's against the law. And the second most critical thing is immigration scam. A lot of the times people get calls about, oh, your visa status has expired, or your visa has been revoked, or your passport is expired, and you need to act urgently. So they create a sense of urgency so that you panic, and then you end up paying money, which is a big no-no. So do not panic in these situations. Know that if any such thing happens, the communication is going to come straight from the university or specifically from the international students office. So rely on them, reach out to them. If you have anything that's confusing that you have questions about, as I said before, do not hesitate to ask the questions and get things clarified rather than having false information and making the wrong call that can ruin your career and your journey to the US.
Also, just talk to your peers. Talk to your friends and verify if they're going through the same thing. If it's going to happen to you, then You got to make sure that's happening to everyone.
While we're talking about scams, I would generally like to talk to you about safety in general, because it's super important. Like, you're coming so far away from home, you're all by yourself. So make sure, especially when you're kind of getting to know the place, you want to not venture out all alone by yourself. Like, later in the night, be very mindful of maybe not being in like on a lonely street or something like that, because there can be certain incidents, because I mean, it's a university campus, there are like a lot of people. Let me point out that there is the Arizona State Police that's there, as well as the Tempe Police. So you want to use both of these resources to the fullest extent as possible. If there's like an incident on the ASU campus, you want to, contact the ASU police as well. There's the Live Safe app, which basically gives you alerts on if there's something you need to be careful about, or if there's like an incident on campus. So just keep yourself updated and basically avoid getting into any trouble.
Also for ladies, ASU has an escort service that they provide in the evening hours up until 2 a.m. in the morning. If you're out and if you want to head back home within a certain radius around the university, then ASU will provide escort services.
Yeah, most colleges have that.
Most
for
colleges
students.
have that, yes.
So take advantage to be safe, be smart. Well, this has been amazing. You guys, if you follow these tips, you're going to be way ahead and have a much better experience going abroad. Give a big like and thumbs up to this video to say thanks to these guys, sharing from their experiences, their lessons learned, maybe some of their own mistakes, but these are going to help you guys. These are awesome tips. Share these with other incoming students as well to help them. We want to help you guys be successful. Connect with us online on social media so we can continue to guide you and give you more helpful tips like this. And thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time at Shine Coaching. Cheers.